Welcome back, boys and girls. And today I have an air rifle to review. This is Ruger Impact Max Elite. This is gas piston air rifle. Yep, gas, not spring. So let's start with unboxing, review, and I'm gonna clean the barrel and do some target shooting and also check the velocity. It comes with a scope 4x32 and it's 22 caliber gas piston air rifle. And with the alloy pellet, it will shoot the pellet out of the barrel at 1050 feet per second. This also has air silencing system, which will reduce the sound downrange. The velocity wise, if you're shooting a lead pellet, it's gonna travel about 950 feet per second. And with the alloy pellet is 1050 feet per second. And the overall length is 44.75 inches. Barrel length is 15 inches. And the weight is 7.5 pounds. And the trigger pull is 5.5 pounds. But my understanding is that this is adjustable. And the safety is automatic, meaning when you cock it and load it, it automatically goes into safety. Length of pull is 14.5 inches. Wow, that is a beautiful rifle. This is actually real wood stock. It's got nice checkerings. And the recoil pad looks pretty unique. It's not soft, which you don't really need it. And the silence looks really nice. Now I heard that you don't want to grab here to cock the barrel because you could actually break this. You want to grab down here. This is a scope. The scope feels pretty light and pretty cheap. It's a very basic scope. I'm not sure how well this scope will hold up to the rifle. Scope rings. He paid $150 for this rifle. Okay, length is 44.75 inches. It's 7 pounds, 3.3 ounce. So it's actually lighter than what they claimed. This has plastic Picatinny on the top. It's got a really nice fiber optic sights, blue in the back and orange in the front. And the rear side is fully adjustable, and what's great is that you could actually turn this with your hand. You don't need any kind of screwdriver or anything else. And this has a safety in front of the trigger. Looking at the trigger, there is a small screw on the top. That's where the adjustment is. Now as for the air rifles, I'm just used to more lighter rifles, but this has a good weight on it. Now fit and finish is really nice. I don't see any gaps or any kind of play or anything like that. So it feels like a quality work. Now, this is my Gamma Varmint spring piston air rifle. Now, my understanding is that the spring has such a violent power going forward, it creates a problem with the scope. But I heard the gas piston is easier on the scope, but still has an issue. Now, knowing that, I actually put a shotgun scope on this air rifle instead of what it came with. And in the future, I'm going to do a comparison on these two air rifles. And my understanding is that you don't want to dry fire because it could damage the gun. I'm gonna clean it, but I'm not gonna put a pellet in until I go outside, and I'm just gonna actually fire it instead of dry firing it. And you don't need to break in the air rifle, but you do want to clean the barrel just to make sure there's nothing in it before you fire it. Okay, I cleaned the barrel, and first I'm gonna see the accuracy without the scope, with just the open sight, and then try the scope. Air rifle does not use gunpowder, so you don't need to clean your barrel like every time. And many people are suggesting that you should just look through the barrel, and if it looks clean, it doesn't really need a cleaning. So I have two. One is by Ruger, it's called Super Point, and the other one is a Hollow Point. And the Super Point is 17 grain, and the Hollow Point is 14.3 grain. Okay, let's measure the speed. And at all time, you want to direct safe direction toward the ground. And first, I'm going to try 2 shot with Ruger ammo. 650. 651. Okay, now I'm going to take 2 shot with the Crossman hollow point. 777. Wow, lucky 777. 771. They're not nearly close to what they claim. Okay, first I'm going to try to set it in at 20 yards. Right there on the paper target. Having my parasol open, shooting in my backyard. I could get used to this. I like it. I got my bug eye. And this automatically goes into safety, so you have to push forward. It's shooting high at 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna make some adjustments. And the real side adjustment was really easy with your hand. Okay, the trigger is actually very heavy. It feels more like 6 to 7 pounds, so I'm gonna adjust the trigger through that little hole in the trigger guard. Pull the trigger just a little bit and line it up and just turn. That's all you need. Recoil going forward is pretty strong. Now, one thing that I felt as I'm adjusting the trigger, the lighter it gets, the longer the pre-travel gets. Okay, I put a fresh target out there, so I'm gonna go for 3 shot group. First with a hollow point. Wow, right next to the bullseye. Yeah, it's right there. Alright, let me go show you the 3 shot group. Alright, this is a 20 yard. Okay, that's the 3 shot that I got. The last 2 shots is practically in the same hole. Man, I'm stupid. I forgot to hit the recording button on my cell phone. Well, I did take a 3 shot with a super point, but the point of impact did change. Let's go down and take a look. Okay, that's with a super point. Obviously, I was shooting better with a hollow point. So let's try at 30 yards and see what happens. Okay, I have my target out at 30 yards. Right there. Okay, same order. First 3 shot with the hollow point. It's right next to it. Alright, let's go take a look at 30 yards. That's the 3 shot with the open side. I would say that's probably about 2-inch group, maybe 2.5-inch group. Alright, 3 shot with a super point. This is 6 o'clock by center. It's grouping well. Well, let's go take a look. Actually, at 30 yards, I think the super point group better. Wow. 1, 2, 3, that's all in there. That's probably about 1/2-inch group. But being heavy, it dropped quite a lot. Well, you've seen it. With the open sight, you shouldn't have any problem shooting a small game like a squirrel or rabbit after 30 yards. Even with the air rifle, I heard that more you shoot it, more accurate it gets. Okay, I set it in my scope at 10 yards. And let's take a look. Okay, no more bug eye. And I have target out at 20 yards. I'm gonna take first 3 shot with a hollow point. Left upper target. It's not really great. I probably have 1-inch group. Okay, now I'm gonna target the super point. Well, that's closer. That actually did better. I have a better pattern. Okay, this is 20 yards. One on the left upper. This is a hollow point, and that's with the super point. The group is similar, but this has better pattern. Okay, well, you saw it. One on the left, One on the left is a hollow point, one on the right is the super point. I'll say they're about 2-inch group. Okay, I put fresh targets and I'm doing 40 yards. I'm gonna be shooting at the upper 2 targets. Okay, I was still shooting to the right, so I made some adjustment, and this is the last 3 shots. So it dropped like 3 inches from 30 to 40 yards, so that's quite a lot. And with a heavier bullet, super point, it actually dropped more, probably about 4 or 5 inches from 30 to 40 yards. Okay, I brought the target back to 30 yards just to see how he shoots again. I want to make sure the scope is not whacked. Okay, I'm gonna be shooting at the lower targets. Okay, like always, I'm gonna show you as it is. So I think this rifle is great up to 30 yards, with or without the scope. And if you have a pretty good eye, I say go without the scope, because you never know when the scope's gonna give up. Okay, 30 yards, I'm gonna try 3 more shot groups with a hollow point, giving at least 5 to 10 minutes between shots. Okay, down here, first 2 shot was tight and then it dropped on the 3rd shot, so I thought maybe the scope was getting whacked. So I took another 3 shot, and again, 2 shots down here, which kind of is same, so I think the scope is getting a little whacked. The 3rd shot it dropped again. But the rifle itself is very accurate. Alright, let's see the penetration with a hollow point. Now with a super point. Now this is a hollow point. Whoa. Now this is 1.5 inch, and this is a little bit over an inch. It actually goes in all the way, almost all the way. So it definitely went at least 3/4. And with a super point, this actually made a less penetration. So that's surprising. So that probably went in about halfway. I didn't expect the hollow point to have a better penetration. Okay, you've seen it. That thing can be fatal. Today was a great day. I got to shoot at my own backyard, and I even got a haircut from my wife, so I couldn't ask for more. But what do I think about this rifle? I think this is a great shooter. I honestly think this is a really accurate rifle. It just needs a better scope. And I believe after 30 yards, getting like half-inch 3-shot group shouldn't be any problem. But at 40 yards, it dropped quite a lot. So this is a great shooter up to 30 yards. That's my opinion. I'm sure somebody does better with this rifle than I can. And as for the power, I was a little disappointed at the speed, but this thing can really punch hard. And with the accuracy and the penetration test, this really shouldn't have any problem taking down small games. This is definitely not a toy and shouldn't be treated like a toy. Honestly, if I didn't have aging eye, I would actually take the scope off and just go with the open sight. It was plenty accurate enough after 30 yards, and it should be fine for hunting small games. Honestly, I was disappointed with the trigger. It was heavy, it was greedy, and when I lowered the poundage, the pre-travel was quite long. And this actually here kind of gets me worried, because if that thing breaks, then you don't have a front sight. And lastly, like always, thank God for what you have, enjoy your life with what you got, but mostly remember, air rifles are not toys. See ya.